Abraham Lincoln predicted it. We would never be conquered from without. We would be destroyed from within by corruption. That's where we are right now.
You took over the Fed in 2006. I have a silver ounce here. And this ounce of silver back in 2006 would buy over 4 gallons of gasoline. Today it'll buy almost 11 gallons of gasoline. That's preservation of value, and that's what the market has always said should be money.
Thomas Jefferson said it, when people fear the government, you have dictatorship. When the government fears the people, you have freedom and liberty. The private financial banking interests who created the Federal Reserve literally bribed Congress and a president to get their own way. And we know what has happened to politicians who stand up to the bankers. They get shot at.
If you loaned me $100 and in 2 years from now I gave you 90 back, you'd be pretty upset. But we hand back money back that's worth 10 or 15 or 20% less, and nobody seems to be able to do anything about it. It's very upsetting. But it's theft. If I don't give you your full $100 back, if you loan me $100, I'm stealing $10 from you. So somebody's stealing wealth, and this is very upsetting.
When Andrew Jackson shut down the second bank of the United States of America, there was almost immediately an assassination attempt on his life. Both pistols failed to fire. Piece of luck there. Lincoln issued his greenbacks to fund the Civil War rather than plunge the North into 35% per annum interest to the bankers. And then as the war wound down, because the greenbacks were working so well, he said, I think we're going to keep these things. And then, bang, he was shot and his greenbacks were taken out of circulation. John F. Kennedy issued Executive Order 11110, ordering the Treasury to start issuing a new value-based government-issued currency called the United States Note, and he put about $4.5 billion into circulation, which back in 1963 was a lot of money.
Why is it that we can't consider, the two of us, an option? You love paper money. I think money should be honest, constitutional, still on the books, gold and silver, legal tender.
And 5 months after he signed that executive order, he was shot dead in Dealey Plaza. And John J. McCloy, president of the Chase Manhattan Bank, president of the World Bank, was put on the Warren Commission. Why? The Warren Commission was supposed to be investigating the death of a president, and I don't care how good a banker John J. McCloy is, he is not qualified to investigate a homicide. So obviously he was there to make sure that the economic dimensions of the assassination of the President of the United States of America were never allowed to be made public.
As much as I would like to do something with the Fed, I say the Fed's going to self-destruct eventually anyway when the money's gone.
At this point, I am absolutely convinced our current government and our current economic system cannot be saved. In fact, we seem to be very clearly in that stage of history where the last official act of any government is to loot the nation.
But even in Mexico, they're talking about this. They're trying to have competing currencies. They've been wiped out too many times with inflation and wipe out the middle class. They're allowing people to start to save in a silver currency.
We need to start thinking about what kind of a government and nation we're going to have here after the transition. And obviously, top of my list is no private central bank and open and honest, transparent elections.
Why couldn't people save, put this in a mattress and get 4 or 5 times much of the value in a few years? So the record of what you've done in the last 6 years is destroy the value of real money.
So if we're going to build a new nation and it's going to be a nation responsive to the people, we're going to have to sit on top of them. And we're going to have to remind them, you work for us. You are not in authority. You obey the will of the people. We're in authority. We the people. That's why it's at the top of the Constitution. It doesn't say we the government. It doesn't say we the bankers. It doesn't say we the Israelis. It says we the people. This is our country, and you either play by the rules or you are fired. And we have to be willing to enforce that.
We have a system that is destined to change. The big question before us is, what's it going to change to? Are we going to accept more authoritarianism and tyranny, or are we going to accept the cause of liberty and return those freedoms to the American people?
The private financial banking interests who created the Federal Reserve literally bribed Congress and a president to get their own way. And we know what has happened to politicians who stand up to the bankers.
It is the cause of liberty that we must address, and understanding where our liberty comes from is so important. The wonderful thing about liberty and the understanding of freedom is it will bring us together.
Dr. Congressman and Presidential Candidate Ron Paul.